Ouch, was that a ghost?
Ouch. Was that a ghost?
With Liss
and Lee. Say you asked me a question
Mm-hmm.
and I lied to you and you're like, and I was like, no, I swear, I'll call him up right now. And so I had to call this person up and just start talking as if this is what happened and they just had to go along with it. I would have to say Brendan for sure.
I'd have to say my sister.
Ah,
I feel like she would be the only one that would go along with it.
I feel like it would take her a minute.
It would, but I can't think of anyone else that would like catch on immediately.
Because your man would be like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
he'd have no idea. You can't. He's useless in that.
Their son would hang up on you.
Actually, my little one might. He might catch on quick.
You think so? Actually,
Yeah.
I can see that. Your oldest one would hang up.
He'd be like, "Yeah, you're on your own. Bye. I'm
That's
busy."
so funny.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
What,
So
what are you telling me about today?
today I'm going to tell you the story of the Sallie House. I don't know if I want to go to this one. You can do like visits and overnight.
Where would you rather go to visit Sallie House or visit the murder house?
I feel like the murder house is safer than this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be
This
good.
is scary.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
So-
Let's go.
On this, I know I'm saying some of my sources, but I want to tell you there's a YouTube with Sam and Colby, and they caught so much stuff on there. Like if you want to be scared, I watched it at 3 a.m. I don't recommend doing that.
Do that.
Because when I can't sleep, I'll go on. But these ones, usually I'm like, oh, ha, ha, ha.
I
Like
watched
that's,
the one you sent me with Sam and Colby about the murder house.
how
That
scary
one
was that?
Good.
This one is scarier.
I watched it in broad daylight though because I'm
Oh.
too scared.
No,
to
I
do
watched it in the middle.
anything.
I'm like hooked on them now. They're good. And then BuzzFeed Unsolved, who also did an overnight stay there, and they caught a lot of stuff on film too.
When you're with the whole filming crew and your group, I mean, it's a lot easier to stay overnight somewhere.
That's
If
just
it's just like a couple or you
No.
by yourself, you're psychotic.
that's so scary. But I used Skate Guard website, Velvet Rope, Spirited, which was an old like TV show. It was like an America's whatever. It was an old TV show. I was trying to compare it to something, but I can't. Conspiracy Theory website, That's Why We Drink, and Lore and Legends. So
That's Why We Drink is another podcast, right?
it is.
You've mentioned that a couple times.
I love that podcast. It's so good.
It sounds good. That's why we
It
drink. I
really,
wanna
really is
drink.
good. I know. So today I'm covering the Sallie House. And just a funny little coincidence, the murder house that I covered last time had almost the same address. That one was at 508 East 2nd Street. This one's 508 North 2nd Street.
Creepy.
At Atchison? I'm probably saying it wrong. Atchison, Kansas,
Okay.
this has nothing to do with anything in the birthplace of Amelia Earhart.
You just threw in a fun fact.
Yeah.
A Chotson.
Yes, I don't know why. I was like,
Okay.
oh, that's kind of cool because I don't really know anything else about.
Cool.
So it's listed as one of the 10 real haunted houses across the United States by Travel and Leisure. And I've heard by many people that it's the top 10 most haunted house in the world. It's
I'm so
in the top 10.
excited. Okay.
So the Sallie House was built in 1860s. It's a modest 2-story home with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and a basement area, which is weird because usually when I do old houses, they all have 1 bathroom. They'll have like 25 rooms and 1 bathroom. This one actually had 2 bathrooms, which I was kind of surprised about.
Oh, this is really haunted.
So it was built by the Finney family. Michael and Kate were the parents, and the story starts with their youngest son, Charles Finney, who for years worked as a bookkeeper at Dr. Holland's office. Dr. Holland saw potential in him and pushed him to go on to medical college himself and start his own doctor's practice. So Charles took his advice and put himself through school. This has 0 relevance to the case. I feel like I keep doing this. But while he was doing this, I just saw newspaper articles and I had to include this. Charles had another passion. He was a competitive roller and figure skater, and he was really good too.
Wow. Thanks so much for that information.
But wait, no, this leads into something. Just wait. He had acquired many gold medals. Charles skated solo and he would skate with a partner. And Charles's alter ego while he was performing on ice was Miss Colby of Baltimore.
Whoa.
He was a drag skater.
Nice.
So there was a
Oh,
newspaper
wow.
article, which I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically it tells a person contracted somebody to skate for half of the door take. So like half of the, what you pay to get in. And the crowd loved the person. And The person was described as dressed to kill, and they said a wealth of coin was showered upon the skater.
Well, oh crap! So they were just pelting coins at him.
Yeah. So, and then this is a quote from the newspaper article. The next morning, it leaked out that Miss Monroe was none other than Charles Finney, and now all that applauded are mad. And the rink people are talking of a lawsuit.
Oh shit!
So how gross is that those men were so insecure because they thought he was like hot, and Charles probably like killed the performance, but they referred to it in the article as a gender bending act.
Gender bender.
Yep. So there was a competition in 1885 with a $5 prize.
Dang.
Do you want to guess what the admission it was for this competition?
A penny?
10 cents. Think bigger.
Oh crap, that's expensive.
So when they wrote this in the newspaper, the competition was open to everybody except for Charles Finney. They literally wrote open
Blasphemy.
to everybody but C.C. Finney.
How rude.
So Finney was like, whatever, and he hung up his ice skates and dominated
not the ice skates.
He dominated all the roller skating competitions and won gold medals in all the championships.
I would have too. What the hell?
But how funny is that? It's just a little, completely nothing, but I just was reading it. It was
just a little short story in your story.
Yeah, and then I got onto another thing that he got arrested once because he was selling alcohol at like a local, it wasn't a VFW, but it was one of the lodges, and he got in trouble for that.
Did he skate over? Or
I don't know. I was getting too sidetracked, and I'm like, all right, get back, focus. Sorry. So after finishing medical school, and now Dr. Charles Finney returned to Atchison to the house his father built. And it was left to him in 1872 when his father passed away. So the Finney's family owned a big chunk of land right next door. I hate saying Charles's. Why is that so hard to say? Charles's older brother James.
Charles's older brother James.
Isn't that weird? Okay, so James, Charles's older brother, built and sold a house. So it was like where Charles lived, and then James right next door built a house.
Okay.
That's easier to say than trying to say that sentence.
Yes.
So James sold that house to a Miss Johanna Barnes.
Okay.
She was a divorced mother of 3, almost 4. She was pregnant. And she was committed to an insane asylum by a judge who declared her violently insane. She gave birth while committed, and she was released to the custody of Dr. Finney. The superintendent of the asylum was convinced that she was restored to her right mind. So in September 1906, Johanna turned on a gas stove, laid down next to her 5 or 6-year-old, I saw this, trigger warning, son, Frank. That doesn't even sound like a little kid's name.
No.
But 5 or 6-year-old son, Frank, and the fumes got to both of them, but little Frank, unfortunately, did not survive.
Oh, why do you say such sad things?
I'm just saying how the house, like all the little things that could have built up. So far, Charles's father passed away there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Frank.
On the same property, but the house next door.
Right.
So Charles used his home as a medical practice. The bottom floor was for surgeries and exams, and the bedroom was used as an office, and the family lived upstairs. It's said during this time, while he was practicing medicine at the house, a mother and a young daughter came to the house in a panic. The 6-year-old girl, Sally's stomach was in excruciating pain, so Dr. Finney rushed her in and put her on the exam table. It appeared she had appendicitis and needed to get the appendix out ASAP, so he quickly administered anesthesia and proceeded to try and start the procedure. It's said that Sally cried out in pain because the numbing agent had not yet kicked in, and she died on the operating table. So the last thing she saw was a man with a scalpel inflicting pain on her.
Poor baby.
I know. So the Finneys moved out shortly after due to lack of space for the family. In 1906, Charles's older sister moved into the home with her husband until he passed away there. So now we're compiling death upon death.
Is just a bad house.
I know. The house passed through many more members of the family, Finney family. Multiple members passed away at the house from natural causes. The dad, like I said, in 1872, James, who was Charles's brother in 1900, and Kate Finney, his sister, and her husband. So that's like at least 4. And 5 if you count Sally. So in 1947, the house was sold outside of the Finney family to the Mize family. I'm only mentioning this because when they moved in, they had a servant with them who was an African-American middle-aged woman named Sally. They lived there for 3 years. Fast forward some time, it sat vacant for 7 years. Another family moved in for a year. And then I saw this in one article only. In 1958, a woman named Ethel Anderson moved in who was kind of a recluse. And it was said that she was a practicing Satanist. And she may have died in the home, but I can't really find out why she left.
But didn't you find some things on Satanists, and you were saying like it wasn't as bad as we think it is?
I think there's so many different levels, though.
Okay.
I kind of want to go into like satanic panic. I feel like doing an episode just on that to explain all about it and like look into Satanism.
That would be a good episode,
right?
Not
because I want to
technically
educate
it's
myself.
paranormal because it's like, yeah, because it's yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry to cut you off, but can I tell you? So
Sure.
with our stepdad, we were always so scared because when he would get mad, like he would like hit us. So, but he would never hit the youngest two. So literally, there was a point in time where every time one
It's
of us,
not funny, but I know where
No,
you're
but,
going
like,
with this.
every time one of us did something and like we knew we'd get yelled at for it, we would literally like blame it on Nina and Josh. So it got to a point where they would literally fight over who was taking the blame.
They just knew it was coming.
I was like, oh my God.
So around 1990, for 8 months, the Humbird family, Bobby, Colleen, and their daughter Heather, lived there. Heather, the daughter, used to play with her imaginary friend named Sallie. The parents just would kind of brush it off. The family reported that things started breaking, moving, food would burn. Which, how do you blame that on a child? I was trying to understand what it meant. Now, all the other stuff I can see being like Heather's fault, but how would be like,
She
was the
couldn't
mother
cook
like,
and it was
really
like,
bad cook?
I swear it wasn't me,
Heather
sweetheart.
burnt the pot roast.
It's like, oh, damn it, he's gonna be pissed.
I don't know. I couldn't really find any follow up on that, but I thought that was funny. Maybe there's context to it. I don't know. But Heather would always say, as quoted from her mother, "I didn't do it. Sallie did it, or Sallie told me to do it," and the parents weren't buying it. So fast forward.
But the father bought that. It was Heather burning the food.
Yeah, spaghetti wasn't burnt again. So 1992 or 1993, the Pickmans moved in. So Tony was the husband, Deborah was the wife. She was pregnant at the time. Now they're the main part of this story, and they endured every aspect of haunting you can imagine. The Pickmans recounted when they moved in. You can see interviews by Deborah. I'm like jumping all over the place, sorry, on YouTube. Or the show Sightings. She was also on there. She recounts how she would, when she first moved in, she would come in and turn off the TV and the TV would turn back on. She would turn off the stereo and it would turn back on. The lights would flicker throughout the house. Bulbs were changed and it would still happen. So they called an electrician.
I
And
thought you were going to say the entity was changing the bulbs for them.
that would be so convenient. But the electrician couldn't find any problems. Objects would move. They would hear footsteps. Then things started to escalate. The dog would go upstairs in front of the nursery door and just start barking and wouldn't go in there.
I feel like if I had a pet right now, it would hate the baby's nursery. I don't know why.
Oh, you think there's something in there?
No, I don't. No, I've never heard anything. I've never felt anything weird in there. But I just get so scared that if I were to ever get a pet, that's what would happen. So I'm
trust
petrified.
animals so much.
But then,
They
like, what do you do about it? Now you know it's there for sure, and what are you gonna do?
You look for another place to live.
It doesn't work with me.
I'd sleep in my car.
I have a Kia.
Come to my house. No, actually, I don't want you bringing it with you. So in the middle of the night, thumping was heard. When they thought it might be cats, but they went upstairs to check, and it was like unnaturally cold. Poor Deborah was dealing with all this while still pregnant. And the timer in the kitchen would go off whenever guests were over, to the point that she had to disconnect it entirely. So baby Taylor was born in late June, and Deborah would be talking on a charged phone, just like kind of walking around the house. You know those rechargeable phones that you have?
Yeah.
And then the battery would just die. So she would go to get another one that was charged, and the first one would be charged again.
I think that the ghost just didn't like strangers because it's like people came over, beep, beep, get the fuck out, and then on the phone, nope, not today. He just wanted them to himself.
Right? Very needy ghost. So one night, Deborah's sister Karen came to visit from New York, and they were all downstairs talking, and they heard a noise come from the baby's room upstairs. And when they went up into the nursery, the normally displayed toy stuffed animals were all arranged in a circle facing each other. I'm sorry. How do I describe that? Backs facing each other? Like they were in a circle, but all
Facing
of them,
outward.
yeah, all of them were facing outward.
I would have kicked them all. Like, I would have just been like, no, no, instead of kicking each one.
Well, I think Deborah thought like someone's playing a practical joke because her husband's brother was over earlier that day. So she thought, oh, maybe someone set it up like that. Ha ha ha. And she put it all back up where they go. And then she shut the light off and went downstairs. When she walked down the stairs, she kind of glanced out of the corner of her eye and was like, oh, the light's still on. Maybe, just being a busy mom. She's like,
Mom
okay.
brain.
Yeah.
Right.
So she goes upstairs and she shuts it off again. Well, she goes to shut it off, and then she sees in the middle of the floor, there's a teddy bear in the middle of the floor on its side again.
Wait, I'm sorry to cut you off again. But that was the other thing that also happened. So I woke up, it was around 3 a.m. to the bed shaking, right?
Stop.
I'm praying, hoping it's Brandon. Mind you, I'm up and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, I don't know what to do. We put this lamp on every night because when I wake up with the baby, I need to be able to see, and I don't feel like getting out of bed because I'm scared to turn the light on. So we have the lamp on. Tell me why the lamp shut off for a few seconds and then went back on.
They were like,
It's
she's
never,
up.
it's never done that. Oh,
That's
I'm
yucky.
scared. I don't want to go sleep in my Kia. I'm sorry. I keep cutting you off. I can't help it.
I'm just not. Sorry. All right. So Tony and his brother George were bringing a dresser into the nursery when the baby's mobile just started playing. It's one of those ones that you have to like crank.
Yeah. My baby has one.
And they were like, ah, and he was like telling Deborah, and Deborah was like, no. She was thinking he was talking about like the monitor that's kind of like motion activated.
Yeah.
So they got into like an argument, and they were like, no, and he's like, no, really. And then she went in and she was like, oh crap.
Well, I guess the real question is, did he really make that noise? Arr!
I don't know. We should ask.
Do it again.
Arr! So another day, Tony was getting a glass of orange juice from the kitchen, and before he could take a sip, he looked up and saw a little girl with big blue eyes standing 3 feet away from him. He froze, and the glass shattered and dropped out of his hand. Well, I guess it dropped and then it shattered. So Tony told his mother about this, and she actually reached out to a former tenant of the house. This is when they first heard the name Sallie, because the woman that used to live there, like I mentioned earlier, had an imaginary friend named Sallie, and now the little girl was an adult. So Tony had a drawing made of what he saw, and the little girl confirmed that's Sallie.
Oh, so that's the 6-year-old that passed away on the table.
Yeah, is what they think now.
Yeah.
So Tony also said that while he was laying down in bed, he would hear noises coming from inside the wall, scratching, like something was trying to escape.
Ugh.
They got every kind of haunting there is. And that's why we drink. They said how Tony was in a deep sleep and in a super guttural voice said, "He is mine."
Well, damn.
That's gross. So during the time Taylor, the baby, wasn't really sleeping at night, and a neighbor asked Deborah, "Why do you keep turning the nursery light on every night?" Deborah said, "I'm not."
I'm like, mind your damn business. Why is the neighbor watching every night?
Right? So now the thing about Sallie was that she was very playful with women in the house and the baby. Like she would move clothes around, she would move little things around, but nothing harmful. It's men she seemed to be very harmful with. She appeared to be the cause of Taylor not sleeping, and now she was starting to start little fires in the house.
Oh, crap.
So after consulting with a psychic named Barbara, which Tony's mother recommended, she advised Deborah to tell Sallie she was welcome there and to set some ground rules. So Sallie, after she got her ground rules of like, you can't set fires, you can't do this, you can't do that.
So cute. Like,
I know.
Oh, you little thing. You can haunt us, just not bad.
She was actually really like kind of caring to the ghost. So
That's cute.
Sallie retaliated by rotating a hanging picture in the hallway. Like if you had a picture there and you just flipped it upside down.
Fresh.
So there were candles that were lit by themselves. They were like decorative candles in the bathroom. So Deborah scolded Sallie for this. Deborah started thinking the baby seems to be the main focus of Sallie, so she started taking pictures with the baby to see if she could catch anything.
Oh, no.
She took 13 total, and out of the 13, 8 had large white blurs. Of those 8 photos, the baby was either fussy, alone, or with someone that did not live there. Deborah decided maybe Sallie is just a kid, so she got some paper and crayons and wrote, "How old are you?" and got a doll for Sallie. So later on, the paper had an answer in red crayon, a big 7 with the word "like" behind it. which I don't know what that means, but
Like 7, so maybe she was almost 7?
that could be it.
Yeah.
That sounds actually reasonable. I was like, what would like mean? Like I
6
like you. I'm
3/4.
thinking that, but like 7 makes more sense. So the toy that she got that was wrapped in the box, it was found outside of an unopened box. So Sallie must have liked it.
Yeah.
Like she just like took it out. You have no feelings on that?
I just, like, I wonder if you're able, like, if she had like, a hidden camera, would you be able to see her, like, open the box and take the toy out and place it next to it? Like, that's so crazy.
I'm going in front, but there are so many balls moving in this place, like flashlights being turned on and off, doors open and closing. There's so much. If you want to see something haunted, look up any documentary on this.
Ugh.
So while Deborah, the baby, and Sallie seemed to have an understanding, Tony reported light biting on his toes. Scratches would appear on him, and he got a big bite mark on his leg.
Oh, crap.
Tony recounts one night he got dragged out of bed and he found little red handprints on his wrist.
Oh, damn. She was a powerful one, though.
Right? The creepiest of all is how Tony said one day he followed who he thought was his wife into a room, and when he was in the room, the whole room just started violently shaking,
No.
and there was a black figure of a woman standing there, and she extended her arm and a crow appeared. There are other accounts of black apparitions appearing. I heard one was hovering over his bed, and sometimes it would appear and disappear or just go into the wall. Strange animal sounds were heard in a woman's voice. I also heard in one podcast that hoof prints were found throughout the house some nights.
What the hell? Hoof prints?
Like demonic hoof prints.
Oh, that makes sense. I was thinking a deer or a moose.
That's what I was thinking first, like a horse. So on the show Sightings, the episode titled Heartland Ghosts, aka Sallie House Haunting, there was a family on who wanted to remain anonymous. I'm just going to tell you at the end, it was the Pickmans. They, at the end of the show, said, okay, we'll reveal ourselves after the whole show was over. But obviously it was Mrs. Pickman throughout the whole thing. But at the beginning, they were like, we want to be anonymous. And the husband's face was blurred out for like so many episodes, and it just wasn't. And he was like, all right, this is who I am. Which I get it. They were probably going through so much and didn't want to be ridiculed and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
So while investigating the house, on camera, you could see scratches happening on Tony in real time with bleeding. And you'd be like, they'd be sitting right next to him. It happened on his stomach, on his arm, on his forehead. The wife told of her child's electronic toys being turned on and vacuums getting shut off. Like when she'd go to vacuum, someone would just shut it off.
That would just annoy me. I'd be like, are you kidding me right now?
Right? Put Sallie in timeout.
As long as they're not unplugging it. If they were unplugging it, I'd be pissed. It's such a pain in the butt, plugging it in, moving, and then having to go back. I don't know. It's a workout if you ask me.
Right? So the wife was asked what I always want to know. If this had been going on for 2 years by now, why did you stay? And she said, curiosity. I want to know, like, why now? Why is this happening to us? Like, why?
Since it was just a little girl and she seemed like cute, I guess I would stay because I'm not the one getting scratched. So I'd be like, Brandon, can deal with it. We need to take care of her.
I was going to say she was just letting her husband go through it. But now there's like all kinds of other stuff. Like, I never thought it was just Sallie there. Because if it was just Sallie, I don't know. But they had a ghost investigator, Al Rober, there to gather data, who measured large temperature changes. During this time, Phil Lapkins, a camera operator, felt static swirling around his legs. And you could hear it on audio. It's like crinkling, and it's around his legs.
What the heck?
Right? So during this same investigation, Carrie Gaynor, described as the world's leading parapsychologist, said that during the last 20 years, I've investigated over 850 cases, and during this time, I have never come across anything like this. Also part of this investigation, psychic Peter James was brought into the house and immediately looked up to the windows upstairs and saw a little girl standing there. He went inside the house and claimed to see her at the top of the stairs and tried to talk to her. So Peter went upstairs and said, "Speak to me now," he commanded Sallie. Right then, the husband yelled out, and when he pulled up his shirt, MC was carved into his back.
Oh, shit.
And you can see them all online. The
Like,
carvings.
speak to me now. She was like, I got you. And ran to the
Thanks,
husband.
Sallie. So the psychic plainly stated there's more than one ghost here. The one in the upstairs room does not want him to go in there. Peter went to the local cemetery after and walked around until he found a worn-down marker that gave him a sense of dread. It was unable to be read due to wear, but it was looked up by plot. It was plot 1, 4th row west, and it belonged to Sallie Isabel Hall, who died in 1905, a year before Dr. Finney moved out of the house. And coincidentally, she lived like 2 streets away. So that could have been the little girl that came by.
Okay.
So the same crew from Sightings came back another day with a bunch of equipment led by Kerry Gaynor for a 24-hour period. Within that time, the husband was sitting next to Gaynor, like directly on a chair. Like one was sitting on one chair, one was sitting on the other.
And my phone died.
Your phone died? I'm
that night.
sorry. That's creepy.
It's so weird. It's like everything's coming back to me now.
That's like a power suck thing. I hate
My
that.
phone died.
That's so creepy to me.
But like my phone was already very low, but I've gone to sleep with my phone low before and it never died on me. But that same night, my phone died. Like,
Did you use the sage yet?
The bed was shaking. No, because I don't know if it's good or bad.
Well, you need to start a poll.
There.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So the husband was sitting next to Gaynor, and the chest was inspected if he ever got up to go to the bathroom for trickery, whatever. And he saw multiple scratches happen right in front of his face again. While they were trying to get an EVP, one of the interviewers said, "I would like for you to show them that you are really here." And nothing was heard at the time, but when the tapes were reviewed, there was this really strange, like, I don't even know how to describe it. You have to hear it on YouTube. It's like a really like guttural, like weird sound. And it was sent through all these specialists and nobody could understand what it was. Nobody heard anything like it, and there's nothing mechanical that it could possibly be. It couldn't be made from a human.
It was like a deep, like
groaning gurgle. It was a really creepy sound.
Oh,
I don't even know how to. I can't even make it. Like,
just try.
it was like way lower than that though. But it wasn't that long. But it was just like a really weird low. Yeah. So they actually did the world's first online investigation of ghosts ever, and they had the first forum too on AOL.
Ooh.
So the family came back in. Within minutes, the husband's face was scratched, and 2 other scratches appeared on his body, all within 5 minutes. And a little bit later, 2 huge scratches on his back happened, almost in the shape of a cross.
So this was like nonstop. He was just constantly getting scratched the hell up.
Yeah, in the videos, you can see him. He'll be like, "Oh." And then he'll pull up his shirt, and then like something will happen. There'll be something fresh blood on him, like fresh scratched.
Damn.
So this house has been investigated many times by the show Sightings that I mentioned, A&E, the Travel Channel, History Channel, Discovery, Sci-Fi. Paramount Pictures made a movie called The Heartland Ghost, which I need to see. It's been on a few Kansas news stations. Every person that has investigated has got evidence. Isn't that crazy? Every person. Many psychics and mediums have visited and say it's one girl, and some say it's a girl and a woman, but the woman is a darker energy, many claim. On Sam and Colby's YouTube, they had Mary Jane, who's the manager of the house currently, from the Chamber of Commerce. That's who owns it now and like upkeeps it in case we ever decide to get the guts enough to go. She told the story of how Tony was walking on the stairs and something just pushed him, like trying to push him right down the stairs.
Yeah.
And after the incident, he had scratch marks all over his back.
Oh.
So after they moved out and were just like done with it, they're like, we can't do this anymore. Les Smith bought the building and rented it to Mary Liggett, her husband, and 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one article that after they left, and one was like during an inspection. But regardless, the landlord found in the basement a cauldron, a robe, a satanic pentagram. And it was also reported later that there was a false wall in the basement that was like broken down. And if you look at it now, it's like a brick wall with like a chunk missing out of it that you can kind of walk through.
Ooh.
And I've heard that a EVP back there said Beelzebub.
The hell does that mean?
That's like another word for Satan. Like it's a
Beelzebub?
Yeah, it's one of the demons. So from 2004 on, the house was vacant until taken over by the Chamber of Commerce, like I mentioned. They burnt the pentagram and covered it with paint. But you can buy right now a tour of the house during the day or an overnight stay, but people that go on walking tours in the house always complain of getting scratched. Like, it's not even like you have to stay overnight. And there's
You
like,
just get something. Wow, that's scary.
that's so gross.
We gotta
So,
go.
yeah.
Maybe not.
So this is one of those spine-chilling houses like the murder house where many people, men specifically, report being touched. Not a fan. I'd rather see something than have it be able to make contact with me.
So if we go, we'll just make sure to bring the boys so that.
Yeah, push them in front. After the family moved out, a shaman actually went there to try to perform an exorcism. And during this, Mr. Pickman got 11 large scratches across the upper middle portion of his back. The family, when they stayed away, seemed to be free from whatever was attacking Mr. Pickman. Deborah Pickman's book, Sallie House Haunting, A True Story, is in my cart on Amazon.
Okay.
Do you want to read it when I'm done?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you were just adding that in, like, a fun fact. It's in
No,
my
like
cart
she
on
wrote that book.
Amazon.
Like, no, I'm just saying that's awesome. I want to read that so bad.
I'm surprised that the husband is still with her. Like, he's getting tortured every day, and he's like, if I were him, I would have been like, all right, you know what? You want to take on the mother responsibilities of a ghost child? You go for it, but I'm out.
Right?
What in the world?
He was getting the brunt of everything.
This
So
poor guy.
during the Sam and Colby tour of the home, which I highly recommend you watch, they brought a medium, Marie Jackson, who was going around the house, and she said there's definitely more than one entity there. She went upstairs and detected a tall woman figure in a military man. She then jumped at one point when she was upstairs and followed a dark entity downstairs to the kitchen. While she was there, she was just talking about what she just saw. The basement door just opened on its own. They tried to slam all the doors around it to recreate it or see what could have caused it, but they couldn't find the cause. Then, for some crazy reason, they went down to the basement. And on the show, they all went downstairs. Marie Jackson, the medium, basically said it's a dark, evil feeling down there and describes a strong, evil entity and seeing a dark figure with a human face pressed up against the basement wall where I said that hole was.
What?
And she gets this terrible headache in this episode. She talks about how this entity wants to draw people to the basement.
Oh,
which
no.
could mean that Sallie is just an entity, or like, was she a spirit? Was she like a... They used a, you know, that fish from like Finding Nemo with that light in the front?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but they used that, like how that attracts them.
Right.
She used that analogy, like, oh, are they trying to get people to go in the basement?
By attracting them with a little girl?
With a little girl, like, okay, let your guard down, follow the girl downstairs.
Oh, wow.
So there are too many EVPs that they got to read all of them.
But there's no like research or anything saying that the little girl tried to get Tony or the mom to go in the basement.
No, but there's a lot of EVPs when they can communicate. A lot of them say like down, 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 go down. Like I said, there's too many EVPs for me to read them all, but the answers correlated to a lot of the questions. And they started asking, are there multiple spirits? To the reply, they're separate. They asked, is one a malevolent mother spirit? And the answer was, you already know. Well, yeah. Another question was, is there a spirit in the basement that's dangerous? To which the spirit replied, yes. They also got 6, you, voodoo, kids, Jesus, multiple times, save, come back, blood, move, yes, down, half, music. And they said, do you want us to go downstairs? And it said that, yes, yes. Another report, oh, I hate this one. Another reported EVP from another investigation was heard the same backwards and forward, which I don't know how that's possible, but it said God picked the wrong time.
What?
And if you play it forward or backwards, it says the same thing.
That's creepy. What?
You can Google Tony Pickman scratches, ew. And BuzzFeed Unsolved, Ryan and Shane have a video on YouTube, which is fantastic. It shows Flint flashlight interactions. Sam and Colby caught a lot of EVPs on their YouTube video. Environmental engineers were brought in and nothing out of the ordinary was found. So is it a child, a vindictive spirit, a malevolent demonic force in the basement that wants people lured to the basement? Or is it a hoax? Some people say it was stigmata. Did the doctor's mishap leave a dark presence? What do you think?
I don't know. I think that Sally's her own entity because I think she's her own entity. And then I think, because you got to think, she was a little girl's friend. imaginary friend, and it doesn't say that she was harmful. She didn't like try and there's nothing saying that she tried to coerce her to go to the basement. She was
Well, one of the families, I was trying to see which one because I saw the interview of her, but I couldn't figure out which family she came from. But she said that Sallie went in or somebody, not saying Sallie, a spirit went in the nursery before. And like, the bottom right of a window,
yeah.
that whole area, there was nothing electrical over there. There were no outlets. It just all caught on fire one day.
Oh yeah, and you said Sallie like to start fires.
Well, I don't know if it was Sallie or the darker entity or the darker woman that they said. I don't know.
I don't know. I think Sallie's real, but I definitely think there's something evil in there too.
So, do you want to go?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. I don't want to go to Kansas. I'm too scared to travel to like tornado places.
You are?
What are you gonna do if there's a tornado?
Like, Sallie, help.
Careful now. we're in my studio here.
I know I didn't tell the story great, but that is such a creepy house. Because it's like, it's hard to tell hauntings in like a good order.
So, what are we doing? Are we gonna go visit a house?
I would love to.
Liar.
I will. We did Lizzie Borden, which nothing happened
Yeah,
at.
that sucked. And that's actually really cool. Sam or Colby, one of them is Lizzie Borden's like great.
Oh, Seth.
Seth. Oh,
That's-
he's
I
not
think
Sam
he's
or
like
Colby.
this. No, but he was always with him. I think he's like
Yeah.
the sixth cousin or something. You
The
saw
fifth,
that?
Yeah.
Fifth?
That was pretty cool. I was like,
Wasn't
oh,
it?
damn, yeah.
Yeah, they're like really, I really like their show. I just found it. They've probably been around forever, but I
know.
just found it.
In The Conjuring, I don't think you can take tours of that house. But, right? I sent that to you. I don't think you can take tours, but you can sleep like on the premises. You can't go in the house, though, I don't think. And
Yeah,
then
you
can
said, here,
camp
let's
out.
do this. And then you said, no, I'm too scared to. Never mind.
Because I want to. I'm just scared.
I know. We can pick one and try it.
Maybe we'll let people vote on where we go.
Okay. If we get triple dog dared.
I was scared. Well, that's all for now. Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much for listening.
If you have a story you'd like us to share, email us at ouchwasthataghost@yahoo.com.
Don't forget to follow our Facebook page, Ouch, Was That a Ghost?